Oh wow, okay, we've got 20. Very nice indeed. Right, looks like we are about to get off for tonight's race. Let me just reposition my child to try and get him to sleep a little bit. Then we're ready, I think. Going into the session now. Same caveat as usual, I do apologise if the child starts screaming. If anyone watching can let me know what the weather's going to be like in the race. I imagine dry, but you never know around here. It's Codemasters after all. My child's just looking gormlessly at me, which is lovely, even though he should be asleep. Right, let's do my quick preview before we get started, ladies and gentlemen. So, round 7 here at Saudi. Last weekend we had our sprint race at Imola, and boy oh boy, what a race it was. Safety cars galore, I think is the best way to put it. But we had Ryan in a Haas who finished top in the sprint. A good showing for Ferrari as well, with Smith and Joe Lancer picking up decent points there. And a few reserves we had impressing as well, mainly Sam Newton in the Aston Martin, who finished third in the sprint. Not a good weekend for AlphaTauri, who failed to score, as did McLaren. They missed out as well in the sprint, but that was just the beginning of it all. Move on to the main race, and we had Jeslar come through from 7th to win. That's only half a story, because he span at least twice. He did also take the point for fastest lap with a 17.0, taking full points, with Rian coming in second. Further down, it looks like we had another good weekend for Ferrari. Smith and Joe again scoring big in the feature race, with the second Haas driver Calvert coming in 10th. Nice little thing for them as well. 12 Romeo's just finishing outside points. Looking on to this weekend then, as I said, we are in Saudi. Driver standings wise, as we are on board with the AlphaTauri Faulkner. We've got Jeslar still at the top with 183 points, but Rian has moved up to second with 141. Joe Lancer also moved up 4 places after a strong showing in the Ferrari at Imola last time out. Kvalin is the big loser from last weekend, as he didn't score that many points, down a few places to 6th. And looking at it, Kinemura had a terrible weekend last weekend, span plenty of times on his outlaps in qualifying, and I don't think he actually managed to finish the race. Looking at the constructors now, and it's AlphaTauri who are still leading with 223 points, but Williams are close behind, only 212. Ferrari up 2 places, as I said, strong showing for them in Italy last week. Up to third, 188, so only 40 points thereabouts between first and third. Aston Martin still not having a good time, still at the bottom of the standings. Half a point with Red Bull, just on 14. Red Bull and Aston Martin both failing to score last weekend at Imola, and Alpine scoring an extra 10 points to pull further ahead of the Red Bull. Right, coming on to today's race. As I said, we are here at Saudi. First came onto the calendar in 2021, which was infamous for a number of reasons, most notably the battle between Lewis and Max in real life. Let me just pull up a few facts about the Jeddah Corniche circuit, which is where we are this evening. So as I said, debuted in 2021 in December. I've had 2 Grand Prix here, oh, no, 3 Grand Prix now, so I keep forgetting we're in 2023. And I'm still not sold as to how good this track is as we ride on board with Fortner, taking it nice and tentative through sector 1, making sure not to cut any of these corners. Let's have a look, get my data up, so unprepared as usual. So, circuit designed by Herman Tilke. Correction, not Herman Tilke, by Karsten Tilke, I think he's definitely related to Herman. With a length of 6.1 kilometres and 27 turns, the race lap record in real life is a 1:30.7, set by Lewis Hamilton in 2021. There's your short circuit, but we do not use that. So, at the moment we've got Jesla up top on a 28.1, although he is on the soft compared to Legend on the mediums and Jake on the mediums. Both around about a second behind. Junior 33, for lack of a better pronunciation, 28.7 again on mediums. Looks like medium is the way to go so far as we watch Fortner finish this lap. It's a 32.8, not the best lap from the AlphaTauri driver. We'll flick through and we'll go on board with Calvert as he's coming through to the final corner now. I imagine he's probably going to be, yeah, this is an out lap, so we'll stay on board with Calvert and see how his full lap goes. See if anyone can usurp Jesla at the top. Got a feeling those on mediums will definitely be able to do so as we go down into the Tier 1 and 2 chicane now, as Ryan goes second on the 28.3. Nice and tidy from the Haas of Calvert through turn 4. And Ken Murray has retired. Is that a crash? Yeah, that is a crash on the exit of the hairpin. Yeah, he's done. He had a few issues with spinning in qualifying last time out at Imola, so I'm not surprised Ken Murray and the Mercedes is out. And Lynx as well. Lynx is out as well, so both Mercedes having a terrible qualifying. As we will jump on board with John Holmes. I imagine this is probably an in-lap now for the Ferrari driver. Good weekend for Ferrari. This is Smith, I do apologise. Good weekend for Ferrari, like I said last weekend. Scored plenty of points as he gets out of the way of the McLaren of Magnus, not Magnus. I'm having a mare, do apologise. Where are we? Kvalan is finishing this off. You should be asleep. So right on board with Kvalan for the end of this lap as he's coming on the run down to the final turn now. Slams on the brakes, down to second. I always thought that was a third gear corner. Opens his DRS. What is his time going to be? It's a 27, 28, 29, 28.8. That puts him fourth on the softs. So top two at the minute are Jesla and Rian on the softs. Junior 33 is going to be the one to watch, I think, as he's third on the mediums. Kvalan fourth and Legend fifth, both also on softs. Looking a bit further down, I think we'll go on board with DRL Mike in the AlphaTauri, see how his lap gets going as he's coming through the end of sector 2, start sector 3 now through the fast section, and we'll be starting his flying lap very shortly indeed. And out of the final corner chooses fourth gear, which is an interesting choice. I don't think he'll get the best drive out of the final turn for that. But now he starts on the run down to turn 1, slams on the brakes. Let's see if he can keep this nice and tidy, which he does through turn 3 now with a small kink. That's going to be a pinching point at the start of the race. Through turns 4 and 5, nice and clean. You've got to be careful around here because sometimes the rear of the car can get light if your setup is not perfect. down to 5th. No, it holds 6th. Normally people shift down to 5th for there. See how that goes. And here's purple in sector 1. Let's see if we can carry this pace through the 2nd and 3rd sectors. I do apologise again if I'm a little bit rusty at the moment. Still trying to get back used to this as we go to the outboard camera now. Watching DRL Mike come through this second DRS zone. I wonder if his McLaren is going to hold him up. We'll see. And he's invalidated, so is he going to back off? No, he's going to keep going. Is he going to see what sort of lap he can set? There won't be much value to that. Yeah, he's backed off. He's backed off, which is a shame, but it is what it is. What else we got on track? We've got Legend, who looks like he's just starting a lap now, hugging the outside of the wall as he starts his lap. Now coming into turns 1 and 2, keeps it nice and clean. Through the pinch point of turn 3. Let's see how he gets this next SS section through. We've got a yellow in sector 3. It looks like it is a Red Bull that had a bit of a moment. Nice and clear through here for Legend, as Kvalin has gone 4th. And Junior is now on an outlap on the softs, as are the rest of the top 3. Keeping it nice and clean through this section, trying not to touch the walls, because if you get any wing damage it is going to ruin the flow completely of this track. It's got another yellow in sector 3, looks like it's an Aston Martin going slowly, letting the Alfa Romeo of either Jake or Swan through as Legend goes purple in sector 2. Notice he really likes to hug the walls. I wonder if this is a strategy he's going to keep up in the race. And again, another one using 4th gear for that last corner. It must be giving better traction. 7th, 8th, it's a 28.2. That puts him 2nd, just behind Jeslar. Right aboard with Rian now, who has invalidated. Watch Junior, he's the one I want to see, because his fastest time so far was on mediums. Let's see if he can challenge the Williams of Jeslar and put pain to the established order in this league. Got yellow in sector 1, looks like the AlphaTauri is going slow to let the McLaren through as Barth goes top with a 27.7, the first driver to go into the 27s. There's another brief yellow for an Alfa Romeo going slowly. I'll see whether or not Junior's actually going to have a good lap here, as Andos Commando has retired. The Aston Martin losing it through the next section here, as Junior's gone quickest through sector 2, and you can see there the Aston of Commando has hit the wall there. Hugging the walls, looks like it's where to go around Jeddah at the moment. We'll stay on board with Junior for the end of this lap, and then we'll go and see who else we can jinx. 24, 26, 27. It's going to be a low 28, 28.4. That leaves him 5th, only improved by a couple of attempts. I was expecting more from the Aston Martin. We'll go on board with Jeslar, see how far off. That was very wide, but he just came off the track. As another car going slowly, letting Jeslar through. I shall go on board with. I've got on board with Mike. No, he's invalidated. I keep pressing the wrong button. You'd think I'd be used to this by now. Almost looked like he was having a bit of a moment there. He is invalidated. We're on board with a Haas of Calvert now. Not seeing any purples, but I think he's improving. Let's see how he gets on with this final sector, as we've got an Alpine going slowly. Looks like he is in low fuel mode. Calvert deep into the final corner. Let's see what his time is as he activates DRS. Where is he going to put him? It looks like he's not going to improve much. 29.5 only puts him 13th. It's all waiting for now. The last driver who can set a lap is Cavemeister. He is currently in the pits. Faulkner in the AlphaTauri, he's 16th, but a good 3.3 seconds off of Lou in the Alpine. As a Haas of Calvert gets out of the way, we'll go on board with Lancer. See how he gets on. Nothing purple, but it's a decent sector from the Ferrari driver. We'll follow him through for the rest of this lap, as there's going to be a bit of a lull now before everyone else comes out for the final flighters. See if anyone can get close to Bartha up to his time of a 27.7. And the Ferrari looks like... Has he run out of fuel, or is he... He's definitely slowed down. Yeah, it definitely looks like he's probably got fuel issues. I'm going to presume that the weather is dry in this race, and as it's Saudi and it never rains at Saudi. Can't tell if Lancer is in low fuel mode, or whether or not he's trying to recoup some ERS to go for another push. That's definitely low fuel mode. Right, everyone is in the pits now. We've got Kvalan and Smith just coming on out laps now. They'll be looking to improve. Kvalan to try and get his championship bid back on track after losing out big time in Imola. So we'll go on board with Smith, who was just finishing his out lap. See what the Ferrari driver can do as he bolts out for final corner. I feel like I've not got as much to say as I did at Imola, but then again, Saudi's not got any corner names. And I think that's what I filled most of my qualifying time in, with corner names. Looking nice and tidy from the Ferrari Smith so far. Let's see if he can carry this momentum through the next Mickey Mouse section. Is he going to drop down to 5th? No, he's going to hold 6th. Looks like everyone's trying to do that. Keeps it nice and tidy. What's his sector going to be? It's a 32.6, so he's 2 tenths up on his previous time. That's going to put him only P8 at the minute as everyone's starting to come out now for their final flyers. This is the next sort of difficult bit. The rear can get loose here if you're not careful, but he gets through it nicely. Now for the next DRS section to run under the bridge. It's not a bridge, it's an apartment complex, that's my bad. Again, a decent sector from Smith as he's coming on the run now to the final corner. Unlike everyone else, he's not hogging the walls. It's be interesting to see whether or not that will help him at all. Comes through into the final corner. Blasts out of it. He's going to activate DRS down to the line. Is he going to improve? It's going to be 28.6. That only puts him 8th place. I'm sure everyone else is going to improve massively there. I think the man to watch is going to be Jeslar, who has just started his flying lap. We'll stay on board with the Williams driver, see whether or not he can put a challenge on Bartha up to his time. Got 35 seconds left of qualifying. Nice and tidy from Jeslar through sector 1. Be intrigued to see whether or not he drops down. He does drop down briefly, trying to get the rotation. Clearly he's not running quite as much ring as everyone else as he goes purple in sector 1, up by a 10th at the moment. See whether or not he can carry on that pace through the rest of the lap and try and beat Bartha up to as Faulkner has retired. as has Cavemeister. So only 15 cars left in qualifying as Calvert, Lewis and John Holmes are last. And our first across the line. Jeslar, purple sets 2 again, his 3 temps up now. Let's see whether or not it can put a good last sets together. Into the final corner now, keeps it in 4th, trying to get the better drive. Activates the DRS and runs to the line now. It's going to be 27.8. Just misses out on Barthorpe's time. Barthorpe has invalidated, so unless Legend or Rian can try and improve by at least half a second, as Rian does 27.9, so 3 cars in the 27s now, as Smith has retired. And Legend also 27.9, very close to Rian. I think that's our top 4, ladies and gentlemen. We'll stay on board with Lancer, but he has invalidated, and Jake jumps Lancer into 5th place. I think that'll be more or less it for qualifying now, as everyone else is invalid. So your grid as it stands for the race in Jeddah, we've got Barthorpe in the Williams on a 27.7, very good lap from him. Jeslar, our championship leader, is 2nd, outpaced by a 10th. Rian in P3 and Legend in P4, separated by less than half a 10th. That's going to be a nice battle to watch through the race. Then we've got the Alfa Romeo of Jake, followed by the Ferrari of Lancer and the Aston of Junior. We've got the second Ferrari of Smith, who DNF'd in the end of that qualifying session, followed by the first AlphaTauri of Mike and the first McLaren of Kvalin, rounding up the top 10. Then we've got Swanee, Sue Magnus, John Holmes, Lou, Calvert are the last of the finishers, so to speak. And then the last 5 all DNF'd. We've got Faulkner and Cavemaster both in 30.2s, and then Commando, Ken Murray and Lynx not completing laps. It's terrible qualifying for Mercedes. Be interesting to see whether or not they can recover from that. If anyone fancies giving me a prediction for the race, I'll be very glad to pitch in. See if I can get my child to at least go to sleep on me. Also, I'll be interested to know what people's opinions are of the Saudi track, because in my opinion it's just not the best for racing. If any of those interested in the MotoGP, there's a hell of a race on at Kota at the moment. I'll 10 laps to go in that, as we prepare for our formation lap now here in Saudi Arabia. Barthorpe gets us off, and Jeslar follows. So, Barthorpe starting on pole. This is the first race I've commentated over him on. Interesting to see whether or not he can convert this into a race win. I know what Jeslar's capable of, based off his feature race win last weekend and his sizable championship lead. Rian has spun and is still spinning. Then we've got Legend in the Alpine P4, very nice lap from him, and with Rian looking to struggle with the rear end a little bit, I'm going to go with Legend's probably going to get better of him. Then we've got the Alfa Romeo of Jake and the Ferrari of Lancer. Ferrari looking for another decent weekend after a nice points haul in Imola. Then we've got Junior, my first time commentating over him as well, and then the second Ferrari of Smith. Then we've got the AlphaTauri of Mike and Kvalin. Kvalin in the McLaren had a terrible weekend last time out at Imola. He'll be hoping to try and get this championship back on track. Swanee and Magnus have been disqualified from the formation lap. John Holmes in his second Williams will be hoping to help his teammates score points and overhaul AlphaTauri in the Constructors' Championship. We've got Lewis in the Alpine, who will be hoping to at least score some points, as it looks like one of the Williams has just span. Calvert in the Haas will be hoping to have a good race as well, try and get some more points for that team. Fulton will just be hoping to meet the checkered flag, as will Cavemeister, Andos, Kennemura and Lynx, who was my driver for day last time out in Imola. Very impressive in the feature race. Jeslar and Bath have been disqualified from the formation lap as well. That will not do their tyres any good. We'll go back to the front of the grid now, as we've got everyone struggling massively. Don't know whether this is supposed to be like an OP way of warming up your tyres or what, but it's not looking good for everyone who's spinning. As Rian's making his way back through the field. It's a very interesting way of warming up your rears. I'm not convinced that it's the best way forward, but you know, what do I know? I'm only a commentator. As Rian now pulls up into his third place grid slot. Pulls up very nicely indeed. Just waiting for the Ferrari to get into his grid slot. I think everyone is ready. We'll go on board with Bath. That's a very strange broadcast angle. As Bath gets a good start and Jeslar is bogged down a little bit. That's a Mercedes, I didn't want that. As the Ferrari's up the inside. Oh, it's getting tight, getting tight. Bath has already got a decent lead as the Ferrari's been shoved out and Rian around the outside. I don't think he's going to be able to take it through turn 4. Very wide and gets shoved into the wall, and Jeslar's round. Jeslar is round. And to be fair, I think that was more his fault. He tried to force Rian off into the wall and it bit him badly. So we've got Bath up to in the lead. We've got Joe Lancer in the Ferrari in second. What a start from the Ferrari driver. But our best start for Ken Murray in the Mercedes, up 11 places. What a start from the young driver. As we're now going through into this DRS, so of course no DRS until lap 3. I'll have 2 racing laps without it first, even though I feel like you should have it from the start. I think that'll make it a lot more entertaining. Kemmer struggled a little bit on the exit there, but still keeping tabs with everyone else. We'll go with gap between. We'll go with the interval, that helps a little bit better. So definitely the winner of lap 1 at least is Ken Murray, up 11 places, and we've got John Holmes spinning as well. Both Williams having a shocking start. It's Bath up to only 3 tenths up on John. Oh, got a battle with the Alfa Romeos with turn 1, and we'll keep an eye on this with the Alfa Romeo and Ferrari battle. I'll keep an eye on this. Round it outside. Can he keep it on the track? No, he cannot. That's an illegal overtake. And he's had a bit of a tank slapper through turn 6. And I think that could get looked at by stewards if it is reported. We've got another spinner, Cave Master and Commando both having an issue. I'm going to concentrate more or less at the front at the moment, as it's all starting to spread out a little bit. We'll stay on board with the Alfa Romeo for now, as the Ferrari behind is very close indeed. He'll be looking to get through, as Kimura had a hell of a tank slapper there, and Commando has retired. Will that be a safety car? I'd imagine so. It's a VSC, not a full safety car, just a VSC. I'm going to go with that's because we're all still relatively bunched up. So Commando becomes our first retiree of this race. And Barth has already got a second gap, and Cave Master has retired as well. He's crashed through the fast S section. I'll go on board with Magnus, see if we can see the tail end of what Cave Master has done there. Yeah, that's easy to do. It'll just lost the rear and it'll just taken him away from it. As we are green now, the VSC is over. That's my child. Ow! My child is biting my finger. And Lance is in the lead. Nice, nice, my friend. So Barth must have had a terrible VSC restart, because Ferrari has jumped into the lead. That is a hell of a move, as we already have a penalty for Smith. And Kimura up another place past Jake into 7th now, up 12 places from where we started. That's very good indeed from the Mercedes. A hell of a recovery, and Link's up 9 places as well. So Mercedes definitely on the up, as Barth getting all over the rear end of this Ferrari. Looks like Barth running a bit less downforce than everyone else. There's your dummy, mister. And Barth is through. He's made that look very easy indeed. And now we've got DRS, which I'd completely forgot about. Looks like Lancer is going to get straight back past him, but actually he's not closing as much as I thought he would. Lancer not with a lot of ERS at the moment. Neither's Eruptor. Rian's in the strongest position at the moment with ERS. Got full 70% at the moment. We'll stay focused on the Haas at the moment, who is trying to challenge for a race win here, and be looking to pick up all the points that Jeslar has given up. Only 1.5 seconds separated the top 3 at the moment. I'll do with this. I could really, if anything, I could really do with a safety car to try and get my child to sleep, but it's Saudi. I'm sure we'll have one at some point. But we are just falling a little bit from this lead group now, as Joe Lancer has DRS behind the Red Bull of Bath. And he is closing, but not enough to make an overtake. Looks like the DRS not as strong on that Ferrari as it is with others. Then again, I do have a sneaking suspicion Eruptor is running slightly lower downforce. And looks like Lynx has been overtaken by Jeslar. Jeslar on the up now, as we've got a move around the outside. Can he make it stick? No. Is he going to try and do a cutback? Ooh, that was a hell of a move from Lancer in the Ferrari. And he is back in the lead. And all this squabbling is going to help Rian, as Lynx gets past Jeslar again. Lynx and Jeslar going side by side. I'm going to go on board with them actually for a little bit, because he's having a right ding-dong battle. But it looks like now Lynx is having a little bit of an issue. McLaren washes out very wide indeed, and DRL might just gets past. as we'll go back on board with Bath now, back to the lead battle. As Swanee in the Alfa Romeo gets past Legend up to 4th place. Lancer is holding on to this lead, and we've got a yellow in sets 2. And it is the Mercedes of Ken Murray. Had such a good start, but the issues with rear grip have really come back to bite him. Lancer positions the car very nicely indeed at the end of that DRS straight. And we've got another yellow. It looks like that is Ken Murray. Oh, that's Lynx as well. Lynx and Span, both Mercedes having terrible laps there. And they've undone all the hard work that they made at the start. Bath be looking to try and get an overtake done down to turn 1. And yeah, you can just see the difference in downforce level straight away. As he's got it done well before the apex. Looking elsewhere, the closest battle I'd say is between Legend and Swanee. We'll keep an eye on these two for now. See whether or not these can put on a show for us. As Lancer is closing again a little bit to Bath. Both Mercedes have pits, so they must have wing damage. And that has just gone from bad to worse for the Mercedes drivers. Alfie. What's Alfie's game tag, my friend? Because I'm not on a first name basis with many people in this league at the moment. So if you can let me know his gamer tag, that'd be much appreciated. Going to go back on board with Lancer now. We're back in DRS of Eruptor. Is he going to make a move into the final corner? It doesn't look like it. He's going to wait and try and do it up the inside of turn 1. He's going to use a bit more of that ERS. He's going to try and get past the Red Bull. I think Bath's going to try and cover the inside. No, he's not covered the inside. That's a daft decision, Bath. Although Ferrari around the outside. That's a very nice move indeed. Very nice move indeed from Lancer, and he is back in the lead. Legend. That's Alfie. Right, come on Alfie. Alfie with just he's nearly broken DRS on Swanee behind him, so he'll be hoping to do that before the back straight at least, because as he touches the wall there, let's hope he's not. And he's definitely got that DRS now. Broke that DRS now, because Swanee has had a little bit of a spin. Bath looks like he's had a bad couple of sectors, because he's 4/10 off now. And we've got Lou, who has DNF'd as well, so we're down to 1 Alpine in the race. And is that going to be a safety car? No, it looks like it's a DNF in the pits. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate to see a pit and quit again, but not much you can do. Is Bath going to go for it now? Bath is going to go for it now. It's going to be a bit of DRS chicken here with these two, I think. I think if Bath was a bit smarter, he'd have waited until the end of that straight to make the move. To try and get DRS again. And now we're going to look back at Lancer in the Ferrari. Can he make the move again? As he's going to go up the inside. He is there. He's letting Bath know he's there, but just cannot get the move done. Don't go for it here. Very nice racing from the pair of them. No real issues with them two. And this again is just helping the Haas of Rian. Rian on for a strong podium at the minute. It's got a gap of just under 6 seconds to Legend in the Alpine. Elsewhere we've got Kvalin and Mike, who are, well, getting very close to Swanee. Swanee looks like he's struggling in the Alfa Romeo now. We'll go on board with Kvalin for a little bit, see whether or not he can get past the ailing Alfa Romeo, who's dropped nearly 5 seconds off Jeslar now. Jeslar trying to recover from a pre-early race spin. which I wouldn't be surprised if a penalty came of it. McLaren, nice and tidy through there. Let's see whether or not he can get himself a mirror on DRS. This is an overtaking spot if you've got the overspeed and if you're brave enough. Kralin I don't think has either, so he'll be looking for a move down into the final corner. Although if you are listening, I'd wait, but looks like you've got the overspeed anyway, so you've not really got a choice to wait. As Jake is just getting close to the back of Smith in the Ferrari, Smith with a penalty as well. And he's made that look like child's play. So it looks like our main overtaking spot's definitely going to be the last corner and the first corner. Obviously with the help of the DRS, and we've got another spin in the Mercedes, Ken Murray again. And the issues he had in Imola are continuing, and Jake does touch the wall a bit. I don't know whether or not he got damage, but that is not going to help his race whatsoever. As he's got the Ferrari on his tail again, I feel he might have got damage from that. I imagine his penalty is just a 3-second penalty from corner cutting. Yeah, it's just a 3-second, and we've got another spinner. It is Junior, I think, in the Aston Martin. Yeah, he's just had a very slow first set and a little bit of a spin. Hopefully he can recover nicely, because he was impressive as Ken Murray has retired. Assuming that must be a pit and quit as well, because we've got no safety car. Can I just say, I don't recommend children. If you don't go to sleep when you're supposed to, as Magnus has left the session. And for just a minute. Let's go back to the intervals now. As Legend, Alfie, come on my friend, as Rian Span. No, he's in the pits. That's my bad. I just can't read. That helps if I didn't have penalties on. Thought Rian Span. No, it's just a pit stop. And that puts Legend into the podium positions. So the Alpine driver is currently sat in third place, but don't forget everyone has got to make a pit stop before the end. No. Again, I do apologise for any rustiness. It's only my second race back commentating. I am trying my best. Looks like everything's stagnated at the minute now. There's not really any ridiculously close gaps. So we're right on board with the Alpine at the minute. I wouldn't say anything else, Daniel, you might jinx him. In fact, speaking of jinx, I'll stop going on board with him now. Because that's my secret power, that I jinx people. So, on board now with Lancer as he goes into the pits. I just saw the viewer count go down. I didn't mean you had to leave, Daniel. So Alfie now up to second in the Alpine, and Jeslar has made a nice recovery, back up to third, but it does have Jake for company at the moment. Oh, you're still here, so someone else got bored. That's fine. Let's have a look at the position changes and see. So, Legend, he qualified 4th, so he had a very decent qualifying in the Alpine. So I'm sure he'll be ecstatic if he can get a podium out of this, which I think is definitely what he's looking for. But yeah, everyone's getting very spread out now. I think the closest battle is going to be with the McLaren, who's, I think he's just pitted. No, he's not. He's still stayed out. Right. You. Stop picking stuff up. As we've got Calvert getting overtaken by Rian, so there has to swap in positions. And our leader, Barth, is in the pits. And Legend takes the lead of the race. Legend and Jeslau up front at the moment. Legend with a lead of about 1.5 seconds on the championship leader. And Kvalent gets a 3-second penalty. That was cheeky. He shouldn't have really followed Swanee for that long, because he cut the pit entry, and we all know that that is at least a warning at Saudi. I remember when that used to be a 5-second penalty because it was just mental. Fowler knows medium's looking to try and catch up to Mike before he makes his pit stop. Barth is looking very comfortable at the minute. He's up in 4th, having just come out of fresh hards. And Junior gets a 3-second penalty as well. Everyone's starting to pick up penalties, which to be fair, I expect a lot of penalties here, because it's very difficult with all the sweeping corners to try to keep temperatures in check and to basically keep it on the track. Right, you can stay there. Got my child in a leg lock at the minute, just trying to keep him still. Stop it. If anyone wants to be a co-commentator in the future, do let me know, because I would love a co-commentator, as Lancer comes straight back past Barfoot, so I wasn't concentrating there, as Kvalent now comes into the pits, and Lancer has the de facto lead of the race, as Alf gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. So Lancer is in the lead at the moment. Let's see whether or not he can pull away from Barth. Got a feeling this is going to be a race long battle between these two, and I am here for it. Barth with DRS now. Look at the overspeed. He's not going to do it down the inside here. He'll be waiting for the next straight, which this is where we had the DRS chicken in the past, and he's not got DRS. Okay. I have no idea why the DRS isn't working. Looks like he might have got a DRS issue. We'll go on board with other people, see whether or not other people have got DRS, because that's weird. Not seen that before. The other people have got DRS. Looks like Barth's actually got DRS issues, because he was definitely within the window for DRS. We'll keep looking on this next straight, but if he's got a DRS failure, then that's just making life a bit easier for Lancer in the Ferrari. No, he has got the DRS again, as Swan is retired. Are we going to get a safety car? Oh, is he going to have to give that back? Doesn't look like it, and we have a full safety car. Full safety car just over halfway through this race now. That's going to close the pack back up. That's going to help the leaders. That's going to help Legend, Jeslar and Jake massively. because obviously the delta for a pit stop under safety car is much less than under normal racing conditions. So Barth assumes the lead of the Grand Prix with Lancer second and Legend in third. As Ryan comes in for another pit stop, looks like everyone's just going to swap to the mediums for the rest of this race. We will easily go 10 laps, as we've seen before. Right, let's turn the MotoGP off. Right. Bit of a breather, let's have a catch up, shall we? Right, so in the lead we've got Barth, our long time race leader. I say a long time, it's been between him and Lancer throughout this so far. The surprise package so far, or maybe not a surprise to you guys, Legend, also known as Alfie, who is sitting pretty in P3 at the moment, although he does have a 3-second penalty. Jeslar, who has made a brilliant recovery after a spinner start, after contact with Rian in the Haas. Speaking of Rian, he is 6th, having just come out the pits, and the Alfa Romeo, who he is chasing, has just spun. So that's Rian up to 5th now. And now I've got a safety car. I do apologise, I'm going to go quiet for a minute because I need to try and get my son to bed. Right, I am back, and we are about to go green here in Jeddah. Barth is going to be leading the safety car restart. We'll go to the broadcast cam for this. As my child has woken up straight away, and he has a terrible restart. There's a hell of a tag slapper coming out of the final corner, and Lancer is all over him. He's going to go for a dive down the inside. Is Barth going to cover it? Barth is not going to cover it, and he just cannot get alongside. Although this is getting nice and tasty between the top two and Legend, who is making a hell of a push for a win here. Obviously on the mediums he's going to have superior grip, as my child decided he was a wolf and started howling. And that has both helped Legend and Jeslar, because as it stands, Jeslar is our race winner, just based on penalties. However, Legend is pushing. Legend is going to try and get past these two as quick as he can, because in theory, with a better tire grip, he should get ahead of these two. If he can overtake one of these, then it's his podium. Because I don't think Rian is going to be able to recover quite as well as Jeslar has. No offence. We'll stay on board with the Alpine for now, who is getting very up close personal with Lancer. Is he going to go for a move down the inside? No, he thinks better of it. He does spook Lancer though, and does manage to get a wheel up the inside. Looks like he's going to go for a move down into turn 1. He's going to get it done before the turn. That is a hell of a straight line speed there from the Alpine. And Alfie moves up into second place in this race, and now sets his sights on our leader, Barth. The Red Bull has been the class of the field just about for this race. So now we'll see whether or not he's got what it takes to hold off against the mediums. As Alfie is pulling away from the Ferrari driver now. And the gap has stagnated around 7.5 tenths between himself and Barth. Although in the corners he is starting to make time up. It's that superior straight line speed that's going to help with Red Bull here. But already Legend has checked out against Lancer. Lancer nowhere near. Lancer's actually under pressure from the Williams of Jeslar, who will stay on board with. Jeslar really looking after his ERS at the moment. And I think when we get the DRS on the next lap, that's when we're going to really see a proper push from the Alpine, I think, as Jeslar gets straight around the outside, and that is P3 for the Williams driver. As Legend is just half a second behind Barth now. The Red Bull is struggling a little bit against these medium shodden cars. And DRS is now enabled, so we will start seeing Legend close up a little bit now. I'll stay on board with the Alpine driver. However, our other battles going on, but our battle for the lead is obviously where the most excitement is going to be. As Junior gets another 3-second penalty. At the moment it is Jeslar who is going to be stood on top step of the podium, but who is going to be joining him? That we will find out in 6 laps time. Charles decided sleep is too good for him. He's trying to pull the curtains down. Legend has done what he needed to do. He's stayed within DRS in this sector. Barring a mistake, he will be in DRS for the next little bit, as the Aston Martin of Junior has spun and has dropped massively. Looks like the Ferrari's had a bit of an issue as well. As Legend just 4 tenths now. Now, if he's intelligent about this, he'll wait until the start-finish straight to make a move. But he is closing on the Red Bull. As Rian moves up into 4th place past Joe Lancer. And now this is going to be where it happens. This is going to be where it happens for the Alpine. I mean, we talked about straight line speed for the Red Bull, and there's contact between the two drivers. But it is Legend, Alfie, who moves into the lead of this race. Now let's see if he can pull away from the Red Bull before Jeslar gets past. Jeslar is going to be the main threat to this race victory. What he really needs now is Jeslar and Rian to both get penalties. But I cannot check race director because this is just too enthralling. Legend already half a second up on Eruptor. I'm going to stop calling him Bath as Jeslar gets a lovely run off the hairpin and is going to cause Bath many issues. And he runs wide. Legend has run wide and has lost a significant amount of time, I think. I did catch him just run wide a little bit there. That will be another track limits warning. Let's have a look at the penalties again. Yeah, so our top two with 3-second penalties, and that little mistake looks like it is going to cost Alfie the lead. And it does so, and because Bath did it after the DRS detection point and has had a shocker of an exit, Jeslar is going to take the lead, and it looks like Alfie is just going to hold on for second place. That was not what Bath needed. Alfie is currently having a mare on those mediums, and Bath comes back past the Alpine. Oh, this is getting tight between these two. Can they keep it clean? They do. Looks like Alfie's going to have to do all that all over again. He's going to have to try and let the tyres cool down a little bit as... Whoa! Bath has had a hell of a tank slapper, and that lets Rian through as well. So, Jeslar well ahead in the lead. Looks like the Williams, barring a spin, is going to have this on a plate. Whereas Rian is now closing down on the Alpine. Let's see whether or not Alfie can keep it clean. He keeps it clean through here. We'll go back to our tyres. So the top three both on 6-lap all mediums. Bath just slightly older hards, but they'll actually be maybe a little bit fresher. And that has just changed the complexion of this race completely. Jeslar has a 3-second penalty, which means Rian needs to get past Legend. Rian needs to get past if he wants to win this. The gap is currently 3 seconds between Jeslar and Rian. Rian needs a good lap here, otherwise he is not going to get the gap he needs to win this. And Rian has been taken out by Bath. That, if that doesn't get reported, I shall report it, because that was just Bath massively outbraking himself. I think that was a sign of desperation from the Red Bull driver. My child's found the drumstick, so he's hitting everything. So that, I'm saying nothing. I'm going to come off board of Alfie now. I'm going to leave him to it. Further back now, looks like Lancer is on the push. Rian has got past Bath. Bath looks like he's had a mare. I don't know whether or not he's got damage. I imagine so. See, you're hoping for a P1 for Alfie unless Jeslar has a mare. Sorry, I just cannot see that happening. Although you say that, it is staying around 2.8, 2.9 seconds between Legend and Jeslar. Our closest gap at the minute, though, is Calvert. He's looking to get past Lynx. I am so unobservant. I've just noticed this is daytime. It's Calvert now looking for a move into turn 1. Looks like Lynx is going to hold the inside line, but that's interesting with those two, as Lancer gets a 3-second penalty as well. This race looks like it is going to stagnate a little bit now, as Rian has also got a 3-second penalty. Don't know how long ago that happened, but that means he has got to do all this on track if he wants a podium. But he has only got 3 laps to do this. 2.5 really. Can't believe we're already nearly at the end of this race. I thought this race would be longer. He says as he realises he's been recording for an hour. This is now the closest battle on track. Rian versus Mike, the AlphaTauri, looking to try and hold on to 4th place. I'll have a look at our penalties. Yeah, they're all 3 seconds, so he'll be looking to try and hold on to this, but Rian will want to get past, try and push for that final podium spot, try and pressure Jake into a mistake, maybe getting another penalty. But Rian just not able to find a way past Mike as it stands. Into the penultimate lap now, and it's Jesla is 4 seconds ahead. And Jake looks like he's closing in ever so slightly on the Alpine, but the Alpine is holding steady at the moment. Look after that ERS, should be fine. Back on board with Rian now, still the closest battle on track, just about. Calvert is also quite close to the back of Lynx. Rian will be trying to get past down this straight, I think, because I don't think he wants to do the DRS chicken again. He just does not have the overspeed. It looks like the Haas is just maybe a little bit too draggy, as Mike makes a hell of a mistake and gifts 4th place to Rian. But it's going to be too little too late for the Haas. I don't think he's going to be able to get... I don't think he's going to gain 2 seconds on the Alfa Romeo of Jake anytime soon. As Jesla now goes on to his final lap of the race. It's been an eventful race for the Williams driver, our championship leader, but at the end of the day, it looks like he's going to be extending this championship lead. A little bit further back, 4 seconds back to be precise, we've got the Alpine of Legend, who is holding on very nicely for a podium place at the moment, as is Jake, although Rian is on the charge. He has gained half a second in the first half a sector, so you never know, he might be able to get this done before the end of the lap. I think he's going to try and push Jake into a mistake. Jake looks like he's all over the place in the Alfa Romeo. Looks like Rian is definitely pushing for his final podium place. We'll stay on board for this. I want to see how this pans out, because the Haas has immense pace at the moment. This will be his first opportunity to get a little bit closer with the DRS, see how close he can get. He really needs to be within half a second for the DRS to work on the final straight. As we've got a yellow flag, we've got a spinner, it is Smith in the Ferrari. Going to go back on board with Jesla as he comes out the final corner to take what has been, at the end of the day, a dominant win, but that's only half the story. Jesla wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Legend is going to come home in 2nd place. What a podium from the Alpine driver, as Jake gets 3rd and Rian just misses out on the podiums. 5th is Mike, 6th will be Bath, just about, as Lancer does just fail to do that. Kvarland gets 7th because Lancer's penalty, Calvert 10th, and it's going to be Faulkner in 11th. Bit further back, 2nd Williams of John Holmes. He would have been hoping for better, but that's fair enough. Smith, Junior and Magnus are going to be the last. Magnus is not in his car, so the last of the runners is going to be Junior. Will stay on board with the Aston Martin. As he comes around the final corner, the last of the actual runners. Comes across the line, And that is all she wrote for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Oh, pardon me. Link Swift for driver of the day, although I think really my driver of the day for holding off the chasing cars and putting up a decent fight for the lead will have to go to Legend. Great drive from the Alpine driver, great podium. Although Jeslar arguably equally deserving for his fight back through the grid. Through the field, sorry. That's enough for podium celebrations. Fastest lap goes to Junior in the Aston Martin. He had the pace, it's just not the luck with the spins he had. And everyone had numerous different penalties. So, final race rundown. Jeslar took the win from Legend in the Alpine and Jake P3. That rounds out our podium. Rian, after a late contact with Barth, finishes 4th. Mike, 5th would have finished 4th if it wasn't for a unfortunate spin at the end. Barth P6 again after that contact. 7th is Lynx, 8th Kvalin, 9th Lancer, 10th is the Haas of Calvert. Just outside the points we've got Faulkner, Holmes, Smith and Junior of the last of the runners. Magnus left the session, so I don't know if he'll be counted. Swanee, Ken Mura, Lou, Cavemeister and Commando are our non-finishers. Again, I apologise for any rustiness, but I think that was almost equally as exciting as Imola. I've got no idea what the next race is going to be, but I will see you then.